Hi all, it's me again, and today we are talking thrillers, as the man once said. I read a lot of thrillers. I think a lot of you probably read a lot of thrillers, but I find buying thrillers in physical copies to be not a waste, but I definitely don't hang on to them the way that I do with like fantasy or things like that. The only thrillers I really hang on to are my John Connolly ones because he's my favourite. But other than that, I tend to just sort of give them away to charity shops and things like that. And then at Christmas, I got a new Kindle and I also got 3 months free Kindle Unlimited. And on Kindle Unlimited, they do have a lot of thrillers. Now, there are quite a lot of like domestic thrillers, I would say, show up on like the front page. They're not my favourite, but you know, it's worth it if you like them. What I wanted to do was talk about 5 thrillers that I think are really worth it if you have Kindle Unlimited or you're thinking about giving it a go. So number 1 is The Butterfly Garden by Dot Hutchison. I think this is for fans of like Karen Slaughter or Tammy Hogue, things like that. The Butterfly Garden follows basically a girl who is kidnapped by this rich sex predator who builds a huge, it's not a dungeon, but it's his butterfly garden. So it's like a sort of Eden inside this place, but it's a trap. And he regularly captures girls, tattoos them on their backs with big butterflies, and sort of keeps them in his little harem. And the story follows a girl, and we're getting her point of view of her life in the butterfly garden in the past, but also how the butterfly garden came to be destroyed. I really like this. It is really messed up, I'm not gonna lie. There are some bits in it, even I was like, whoa, that's messed up. But I think if you like I say, if you like Karen Slaughter, if you like Tammy Hogue or Tess Gerritsen, things like that, I think you'll really like this. And it also sets up a series of 4 books that follows the FBI agents in the books. I thought all of the books in the series were very good, and they're all in Kindle Unlimited. Still think the first one's the best one, but I think they were all great, and the fact they were on Kindle Unlimited, I really enjoyed them. And certainly I might actually reread the first book. I might reread The Butterfly Garden because I just enjoyed it so much. So yep, so that's number 1. And then number 2 is Still House Lake by Rachel Kane. Now this one is kind of, it's not a domestic thriller, but it does follow a woman who found out that her husband was a serial killer. So she's coming home one night with the kids and she finds her husband in the garage murdering a girl. And then obviously all hell breaks loose. People think that she was involved, people think that she was helping him, and things have just gone really badly for this family since then. So they've had to move several times and they end up at the aforementioned Still House Lake. Now, of course, there's a murder that's like the murders her husband did, and it gets into all that. I really liked the main character in this. I thought she was awesome. She really wanted to take care of her kids. She was putting them first. She was trying to protect them from everything that was going on, and at the same time living with the fact that the man that she had loved and had children with is a monster, and the monster is still alive and taunting her from prison. There is a 4th book that's just been released in this series, which I haven't read yet, but I have read the first 3. They're all in Kindle Unlimited. I highly recommend them, especially if you found, like, say, like the story about like BTK's wife interesting, you know, like how someone manages to hide that for so long. Or I think it's The Good Wife that's in, yeah, it's in a Stephen King set of short stories called Full Dark, No Stars. It was also made into a movie, which I believe is on Netflix. Again, wife finding out that her husband's a serial killer. but I really enjoyed it. I think you would enjoy it. Try it. And of course there's 4 you can binge. And then number 3 is a standalone, and this is No Exit by Taylor Adams. Now, Books and Lala read this one. It was one of her, I believe, 3 thrillers, and that's why I picked it up, because I thought it sounded interesting to me. Now, I did end up giving this one 3.5 stars because it wasn't my type of thriller, because it's a woman who is trapped at a rest stop in the middle of a really bad storm. She finds a girl who's been kidnapped, and it's all sort of who can she trust, how can they survive, etc. I'm not as big a fan of books that feel like a slasher movie, you know, that sort of chasing around one, trapped in one building. I'm not as big a fan of it, but I think if you liked that type of movie or that type of thriller, then that you would really like this. And you know, again, it's on Kindle Unlimited, so you pay for it if you get the 3-month free. And then number 4 is My Only Sunshine by M.G. Fleming, and this one was recommended by Murphy Napier, who I believe read the audiobook for this. And it is about a girl who was kidnapped and abused, and she managed to escape or was rescued, but they never caught who did it. So she's trying to adjust back to normal life, trying to go back to school, try to make up with her friends, all that kind of stuff. But obviously it's not that easy because she's really traumatised. And her family's really traumatised as well. So I thought this was it had a really unexpected sort of ending for me. I thought the tension was ratcheted really high. I really cared about the main character and what she was sort of going through. And I think, I'm pretty sure M.G. Fleming is an indie author, so it'd be good to support an indie author as well. And last but not least is The Broken Girls by Simone St. James. This is, again, a sort of dual timeline. We've got sort of contemporary now and in the past, and I believe like the sort of 60s at this boarding school. And in the present day, we've got a reporter whose sister was murdered. Her body was found on the grounds of a school. They did catch someone for it and put them in prison, but there's always been a sort of, did they actually do it or not? And you know, people in the town maybe felt like this person was wrongfully convicted, etc. And then we've got in the past, which is several girls who share a room at boarding school, and in the present, when they are going to be converting it to something else, they find a body down the well. So it's going through how that body came to be in the well, and then investigating in the present who put her in the well and all that kind of stuff. I really enjoyed it. I think I gave this one 3.5 stars. It was pretty good. So that is 5 thrillers on Kindle Unlimited that I think are worth your time. I think if you like thrillers, Kindle Unlimited is worth it, at least for the 3-month trial, because you'll get a lot of use out of it. And there are some ones that are pretty hyped up, like The Butterfly Garden, that are on Kindle Unlimited. And I know for myself, like, I don't feel bad DNFing a book from Kindle Unlimited because I didn't pay for it, so I don't feel like I have to finish it, which has been really good for my reading numbers, because like I'll get a chapter or 2 and I'll think, oh, this is gash, and I'll just return it to Kindle Unlimited, rather than thinking I paid £4 for this, I paid £5 for this, I should really finish it, and then going into a slump. So, and I also think as well, it gets you to step outside your comfort zone a little bit, maybe try some things you wouldn't otherwise try. I mean, I probably wouldn't have tried No Exit by Taylor Adams if it wasn't on Kindle Unlimited. I would have gone on so that it cost however much and gone, I don't really fancy it enough to pay for it like that amount. So yeah, Kindle Unlimited I think is good because it gets you to step outside your comfort zone, and also you don't feel as guilty DNFing books. So let me know what you've read on Kindle Unlimited that you've really enjoyed. Is there any on this list you don't agree with? Is there any you've read and you know you want to talk about? Let me know in the comments below, and I will speak to you next time. Take care. Bye bye.